In this video I have the video set up on the wing mirror of my Vespa. I want to see what it's like. This mirror or this video camera I've never used before on my motorbike. It's an Osmo Pocket 3 camera. Very, very good camera. It has a benefit, a real benefit, which I'll show you now. If I press the button there like that, it'll spin around. So from the point of view of doing a video from a motorbike or a scooter or a bicycle or anything, it's very handy. So I want to just see what it's like in practice. Maybe it'll be blowing down, or maybe it'll be unsteady or shaky or whatever, but I don't think so. I think it'll be alright. Anyway, I'm going to see that. I'm just going to test that now for the crack. My background is actually from business. I did a commerce degree back in UCD as my first degree, so my background is really a business background, and I'm self-employed since I was 23. That was 1986. So this is Gorry, Broadford here now, and I'm going to be turning left down here and heading down to Broadford village. I'm always messing around and experimenting with the videos that I make and publish on YouTube, and this type of video, riding my Vespa, is one that I'm kind of struggling with, trying to get it right in terms of how to approach it, what to put on it, what to talk about and so on. And this video, the one I'm making now, is a sort of an experiment insofar as I'm going to be talking about business. You might wonder why I would bother with the Vespa or Vespa videos, etc. But there's a couple of reasons, I suppose. One is that I enjoy riding the Vespa. And two is I have a couple of cameras there that get pretty good footage. And I know some people enjoy the footage from, Ireland, from North Kildare and country roads and so on. So that's why I make videos sometimes riding my Vespa. I capture the footage because, as I say, I've got good cameras, and some of it is quite photogenic, some of it is quite attractive, and I suppose it reinforces the view that Ireland is a nice country, physically nice, aesthetically very pleasing, green and so on and so forth. And I've had a lot of good comments from people from the United States and so on especially, who enjoy this type of thing. But obviously not everybody in Ireland or other viewers are not going to like it. But when I make videos, I'm not making videos to please everybody. I mean, I'm doing my best. I make videos. I enjoy riding the Vespa. I enjoy making videos. So I actually combine the two. But I am just struggling a little bit to combine the two in a way that makes sense, and that's what I'm doing with this video. So there's a couple of topics I'm going to talk about on this video, business related topics, and I think they might be of benefit if you are thinking about starting your own business or are interested in business. This road I'm going down here now is actually the old road into Broadford. Before that new bridge, that road on the left hand side is the new road, and that's a bridge over the M4 motorway. But this is the old road down into Broadford, down past Jimmy Riley's house there. Jimmy Riley was a good friend of my father's in primary school in Broadford many, many years ago. This is the bridge now, the bridge that goes over the M4 and brings us back down into Broadford. So I'm going to head down through Broadford village. It's only a very, very small village. There's a pub on the left-hand side there, and there's a lady that cuts hair, hairdresser, and that's about all the commercial activity that's going on in Broadford at the moment. So this is Broadford village, and you have the Broadford house there on the left-hand side. That's the pub. And on the right-hand side there, that house on the right, a small little house on the right, just there, my grandfather had a shop there, a little shop, and then he progressed from there up to into Enfield eventually, and we were always in retailing for many, many years. So that was the start of it. My grandfather there, he sold oil, I think, and bicycles and everything he could sell. Broadford Church now, and school, or on primary school, or on the left-hand side there, and the graveyard's on the right. And that is probably the full extent of Broadford village anyway. Okay, so if you're thinking of starting a business in Ireland, what steps in 2025, for example, what steps do you need to take? Firstly, you want to consider the legal structure of your business. Will you be a sole trader? Will you be a partnership? Or perhaps a limited company? Regardless of which structure you adopt, you will need to register with the revenue commissioners for taxation purposes. If you set up a limited company, you'll be paying corporation tax on your profits. If you do not incorporate a company, you'll be accounting to the revenue commissioners on a self-assessment basis. You may also need to register for VAT, depending on your business and its turnover, and as an employer. If you're simply setting up an online business, there's no additional regulatory steps you need to take. Obviously, you'll need a website, but you do not need any legal permission or registration for this. However, if you want a country code top-level domain name, you will need to apply to iedr.ie, which is the Irish IE Domain Name Registry. This body helps protect your domain name and provides a process by which domain name disputes can be resolved. You may also avail of the services provided by local enterprise offices who provide assistance, support, training and other resources to entrepreneurs and startups. The local enterprise office website is worth checking out too. Just have a look online and you'll find it. So from a legal and regulatory perspective, you'll note that setting up a business is a relatively straightforward task with a minimum number of bureaucratic hoops through which to jump. The most critical factor in your success will be obtaining clients or customers and providing such a good service or product that your business will grow through a mixture of new client acquisition and repeat business from satisfied customers and good word of mouth. Once you get a bit of momentum, you can look at the most effective ways of promoting your business and acquiring new business. This will almost certainly involve some element of digital marketing, including social media marketing. You need to be careful about charlatans though and spoofers. You'll also need to have an inquiring, learning mind to growing your business and learning from those who have gone before you and made mistakes and successes. You can learn a huge amount from books of successful entrepreneurs, for example. Most of these people made costly mistakes from which you can learn without the need to repeat the mistake. The power of books in this regard is enormous, and if you do not like reading or if you don't have the attention span to apply your mind to a book for at least 1 hour per day, you're selling yourself short. You could also consider audiobooks. You also run the risk of being misled and misinformed by people who I describe as spoofers. What I'm referring to is people who have more knowledge about business or marketing than you do, but who could not be genuinely described as expert in the sphere. There's a qualitative difference between real experience acquired from building businesses over many years and somebody who is now positioning themselves as experts in some area of activity when there's no real substance to their claimed expertise, save for them knowing a bit more than you do at this stage of your business development. Don't fall for it. Some people have an innate level of cunning or street smarts or lack of naivete. Some people are inclined to naivete and can be easily parted from their money with a bit of smooth talking patter. Beware of this problem, and if you're inclined to the second category, take your time and do plenty of research first before acquiring the services of any supposed expert. Do work that matters. There is a qualitative difference between doing the work that matters, doing great work, acquiring clients, growing your business, and things that don't really matter but are inclined to stroke your ego. For example, shallow stuff like mentions, fans, likes, awards that may not account to a hill of beans. Don't fall for this either. And, I wish you the very best in your endeavours in 2025 or afterwards, if that's when you start. The other thing you're going to need to be aware of in any business that you're involved in, regardless of what sphere of activity, is the use of influence or persuasion. How do you really persuade? The psychology of persuasion has been exercised in all types of situations for centuries, from the disciples in the Bible to prisoner of war camps to quasi-religious cults to the science of selling on the marketplace and to Moore Street traders in Dublin. Yes, Moore Street. Get the last of the red apples. That's the last of the red apples is a scarcity tactic, and it's one of the 7 principles of persuasion that I'm going to discuss here. Since time immemorial, there have been a number of fundamental principles of influence which have worked to persuade others of our point of view. A 35-year study based on clinical research and evidence by Dr. Robert Cialdini, an American professor of both marketing and psychology, identified 7 principles of persuasion. These 7 principles applied in the area of small business work as well today as they have down through the centuries. The book Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion is widely regarded as one of the most powerful and informative books about marketing written in the last 3 decades. The principles of persuasion, there are 7 of them identified by Cialdini. The first is self-interest. The consumer or potential customer wants to get the maximum for the least cost. This may appear self-evident, but it is easy to overlook. Always ask or answer the question of your potential customer or website visitor, what's in it for me? 2, consistency. We are greatly influenced by people and businesses who are consistent, not those who change their message or opinion at the drop of a hat. We as humans have a strong desire to be and to appear to be consistent. This is why salespeople will always attempt to ask you a series of questions which elicit a yes response in the early stages of their sales pitch. The key to the salesperson getting you on a path of his choosing is if he can get you to make a commitment at the outset. The desire to be consistent will take care of the rest. This desire to be consistent often pushes us along a path that we know to be wrong, but from which we are unable to depart. This has been recognized by prominent psychologists such as Newcomb and Fritz Heider. 3, reciprocation. This refers to the sense of obligation most people feel when somebody does something or gives them something for free, because it creates a tremendous sense of obligation in the recipient to return the favour at some point. And you'll come across this if you're on foreign holidays or whatever, with guys handing you flowers or asking you to take this or take that. What they're doing is they're trying to create this sense of obligation, and people with a sense of fairness have a sense of obligation. If he gave me a flower, well then I owe him something, I must buy it or whatever. 4, social proof. We're hugely influenced by what others have bought and approve of. This explains the enormous amounts of money that celebrities and sports stars and influencers can earn from endorsing products, services and businesses. Much as we all hate canned laughter on many TV programs, TV studios still employ canned laughter because it is simply effective and it works. Number 5, authority. We are influenced by people and businesses in positions of authority. Follow an expert is a saying from Virgil. We pay greater attention to so-called experts, academics, and people who can demonstrate authority than we might to the person working in our local supermarket, for example. Number 6, liking. Liking is a tremendous and underrated source of influence. You're infinitely more likely to be influenced by someone you like. The Tupperware party, for example, was a good example of this power at work. And the hostess ended up selling a lot of stuff to her friends, not because her friends want Tupperware storage so much, but because they like the hostess. Number 7, scarcity. The power of scarcity is clearly demonstrated at sales times in shops and stores, or when great works of art are auctioned. This same principle is a very powerful source of persuasion in any business, regardless of whether you're selling your goods and services online or on the high street. And Get the Last of the Bananas works on Mary Street and Henry Street in Dublin and other markets, and people know this, and that's why they're, shouting out, get the last of the apples or the bananas or whatever. If it didn't work, street traders wouldn't be shouting this for decades and through generations of families. This cry relies on the power of scarcity to work. Your business website or your blog or your social media presence should have most or all of these fundamentals of persuasion at work to give you the best chance of success. The absence of these principles when you take your business online is a common mistake. Many small business owners think that doing business on the internet is somehow different, but it's different, but not as different as you might think, because the internet is only the medium through which you transmit your message and offer. The fundamental principles of persuasion outlined above stay the same. This area here now is Clorinka. I've passed Clorinka Church there a couple of minutes ago, and I'm heading down towards the road between Edenderry and Kinnegad, and I'll be driving through then a place called Park. So that's where I'm headed there now. In here now on the left hand side is Rahan Wood. That's it in there, where I've just pulled into that car pass. It's a nice place to bring a family. Nice walk through wood. Plenty of nice. Well, there's a nice walk through the wood, and the River Boyne then runs at the back of it as well. So it's a very pleasant place to walk and bring a family, bring kids, whatever. So This now is Cornamuckla, heading back up towards Gerisker and home. This is a different camera now. This is the Osmo Action 4 camera, and it's in a different place now as well. It's actually hanging on a thing around my neck. You see this is hanging, this is the Osmo Action 4 camera, and it's actually on a sort of a thing around my neck there, not a necklace, but a certain product, and it just fits around my neck, and it gives a good video from the point of view of when I'm riding the Vespa or riding anything. A good point of view, first person point of view. So I'm just going to go up to my valley, the My Valley Estate or My Valley Country Club, whatever it's called now, and just go up there for a spin, and I'm going to compare the two types of video. this sort of tweaking and experimenting that I do with cameras and with the different types of video that I put on YouTube and so on and so forth, I'd be doing that all the time, tweaking and changing and making little changes to see what works and what doesn't work. And if you are committed enough, I suppose, to doing something, you're going to spend a good bit of time iterating and changing and making changes, making experiments. And the great thing about having a YouTube channel, and a lot of what you do online, but having a YouTube channel, is that you can experiment and try different things from time to time and see what works and what doesn't work. So that's what I'm at here with this experiment, really, between the two cameras. The handiest camera, though, is the Osmo Action 4 camera, and I'll probably just go with that and be done with it, you know. Ballina house now. Just here. Very nice old house. Don't know the exact story of it, but it's used for hotel for weddings now. It's very nice. Nice place for a small private wedding or party or whatever. It's Ballina house, I think. Yeah. Or the My Valley Hotel then is around here on the right hand side. My Valley Golf Club then is on the left hand side though. It's on the left hand side. In fact, My Valley Golf Club's up here. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments down below. I'd be interested to get your take on the combination of the covering of business topics with the Vespa footage, the footage from the Vespa, and as I say, talking about either business or law or whatever else. Or would it be better, do you think, that the Vespa video is just basically a sort of a tour around the country or whatever trip I'm going on, and that what I should be covering is simply the trip and so on? Or should I be doing what I've done in this video and bring in other topics that, you know, I may be interested in and so on? Or is it a bit of a mishmash? Appreciate your comments down below. I'd appreciate if you left the thumbs up button or hit the thumbs up button as well if you liked the video and you might be interested in subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot. And now I'm going to shortly try and reach the very top speed on this Vespa of mine. There's a hill here outside my valley on the way back down to the main road from between Enfield, say, and Kinnegad. And I'm going to hit top speed there. I won't tell you what top speed is, but it's absolutely flat to the mat. There's a bridge here now. Yeah, I think this is the bridge. It's over the M4. And I'm heading downhill here now, and I'm going to reach the extremity of the speed on this thing. So it's like a fair old thrill, to be honest with you, when you're flat to the mat and it's absolutely maxed out, and it's a good old kick. It's enjoyable. Heading home now on the main road there, so this is the main road between Enfield and Kinnegadsey, and obviously it brings you out to, this is my valley generally, and it brings me to the turn left then back into Broadford. It's more fun riding on the back roads, but sometimes the riding on the main road can be boring enough, but sometimes you just want to get home fast, and get home as fast as you can anyway. And this brings me back down into Broadford. As I say, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, hit the thumbs up button down below. Thank you very much. Planning application here on the left hand side, and planning applications around Broadford village. There wouldn't been much development in Broadford village for many years, so I was interested to see what was going on. There's 5 planning applications there for 5 two-story houses, so that'll be a bit of development in Broadford village for the first time in decades if it goes ahead.